Have you ever looked at a stranger and wondered what his hands would feel like on your skin? Today's story takes us to Lisbon. A frustrated tourist, a cream-colored Mercedes, and a taxi driver named Joao. A man in his 60s, rough, hairy, and dominant. This isn't a story about romance. It's about the front seat, manual gears, and what happens when a mature man decides to take exactly what he wants. I am Luca Falo. Put your headphones on. It's going to get bumpy. Luis had touched down in Lisbon that Friday, promising himself a perfect weekend. Sun, food, and, with any luck, sex. At 40, Luis knew he held a good hand. He maintained an enviable gym body, dressed well, and carried that specific confidence that comes with the first gray hairs in a beard. After a quick dinner, he headed straight to Príncipe Real, the epicenter of Lisbon's gay life. He had been told that's where the action was. Narrow streets, full of bars, men drinking on the sidewalks, and a constant parade of eyes. But the reality was disappointing. Luis had been going from bar to bar for 2 hours and felt like he was in a window display, not a party. There was plenty of beauty, yes, but it was plastic beauty. Boys in their 20s staring at their phones, closed cliques that let no one new in, and too much look but don't touch attitude. He spoke to a couple of Brits and a gorgeous Brazilian guy, but the conversation died after 2 minutes. No spark, no hunger. Luis sighed, draining the last of his beer while leaning against the bar at Tierra Tres. He was fed up. He hated that empty feeling after so much expectation. "Check, please, and call me a taxi," he told the bartender. "I'm going back to the hotel." All he wanted was to get to his room, jerk off quickly under the shower to release the tension, and sleep late. The cream-colored Mercedes stopped in front of the venue's door. Luis walked toward the back door, but before he could touch the handle, the passenger window rolled down with an electric hum. "Up front," a deep voice ordered, with that thick, raspy Portuguese accent. "Sit here, next to me. You see the city better." Luis hesitated for a second, but obeyed. He opened the door and dropped into the worn leather seat. As he turned to buckle his seatbelt, he froze. The driver, Joao, was not what he expected. He had to be around 60, but he was a massive block of a man. Dark-skinned, tanned by the sun, with thick arms covered in black hair peeking out from under the rolled-up sleeves of his white shirt. A shirt that, to Luis's delight, had 3 buttons undone, revealing a thick mat of dense, graying hair on his chest. "Hotel Mundial, please," Luis said, feeling his mouth go dry. Joao nodded, without looking at him, shifting into first gear with a sharp, authoritative movement. Lisbon is a city of hills and curves. That forced Joao to constantly work the manual gear stick. Luis couldn't stop staring at that right hand, large, wide, with marked knuckles and short, clean nails. A working man's hand. On a tight turn toward Baixa, as Joao shifted into third, his hand grazed Luis's thigh. It wasn't a bump. It was a calculated graze, the back of that hairy hand resting a second too long on Luis's jeans. Luis didn't pull his leg away. Instead, he opened his knees a little wider. The silence in the car became dense, charged with static. Joao drove with a tense calm, his right hand now resting permanently on the gear stick, dangerously close to Luis's crotch. At the next red light, Joao didn't shift gears. He simply let his hand fall, heavy, hot, and massive, onto Luis's thigh, squeezing the flesh with possessive force. Luis turned his head. Joao was looking at him. A crooked, dirty smile appeared on the driver's face. "Do you like Lisbon?" Joao asked, with a clear double meaning. "I'm starting to like it now," Luis replied, his voice husky. Without asking for permission, Luis moved his hand to the driver's crotch. The denim was tense, hard as a rock. Joao let out a low growl when Luis squeezed the bulge. There was no doubt. The man was rock hard and packed well. Curiosity outweighed caution. Luis slowly unzipped Joao's fly. The metallic rasp tore through the silence of the car. Reaching into the cheap cotton briefs, he freed an impressive. And this is where I have to pull the handbrake. What happens inside room 312, the way Joao strips him down, the spit, the rough commands, and that intense, messy finale is too explicit for YouTube. They won't let me show you the raw reality of that encounter. But I don't want to leave you halfway. The full, uncensored story, with every moan and every thrust, is waiting for you right now on my Patreon. Click the link in the description or the pinned comment to unlock the door to room 312. Joao is waiting. See you there.